What's going on, SOS? Hey, hey, hey. Welcome in. If you are on Facebook, drop it in the comments. Let me know what's going on. YouTube, Twitter, D Live, Twitch. What's going on? I see Kathy out there. And I also just want to say, very special shout out to, I'm going to just call you Mick3, out there on TikTok, rocking with me before we came on here. We listened to some Jasmine Sullivan, of course, the queen of hip hop soul, Mary J. Blige, and some Lil Nas X. Oh, yeah, so you did see it, yeah. I can never see who is out there, so it is what it is. I usually find out after the fact. But TikTok was on fire last night. There was a lot of people that came through last night. Well, welcome everybody. Welcome to Reading Between the Wines. What's going on, Carol? How you doing out there? The beautiful, talented Miss Carol Cordera is in the building tonight. Welcome to Reading Between the Wines. It's Wednesday, Wine Down Wednesday, Wine Wednesday. Let me know what you're drinking, what you sipping on, if you got a glass of something, or you got a whole bottle, or you got a whole 2 bottles or 3 bottles, what you got going on. Sylvia, what's going on? It's so good to see you out here tonight. So, my special guest tonight, Adele, she's not going to be here. So, Kathy, that just gives us more time to catch up, and it's cool. It's all right. Our guest ain't here tonight, but that's okay. We still gonna make this thing work. And we are sipping on, now I got to make sure I got this right, Venus Chilenas Cabernet Sauvignon. And this actually is mixed with Merlot. So another red wine, as you know, we wind down and get ready to get into the fall, winter. I'm going to start bringing some more red wines to the table. So tonight we are sipping on Venus Chilenas, Venus Chilenas Cabernet Sauvignon, and it's 13%. So I'm going to get right on into it. It's rich and complex with bright blackberry and fig flavors, firm tannins, and a delicious overlay of spice, perfect with grilled meats. Well, we already know that I'm not trying it with no grilled meats, but yes, so that's what we are sipping on tonight, and it is what it is. So Kathy says, let's do it before the mechanics are done singing. I don't know what you're talking about, but that's cool. Yes, I got my water too, so I have to stay hydrated as well while we do this thing. So we're going to get into the song of the day. This song came to me a couple days ago, and I was like, oh, yes, I want to do this for a song of the day, but it just wasn't the right time. So now, here we are. Song of the day, No More, by Rough Ends, released in 2000 off of their Love Crimes album. So, no more shopping sprees, no more late night creeps, no more VIP, no more dough, because we can't even kick it no more. So, song speaks for itself. When you finally get to a point and you realize that you're not going to put up with certain things in your life, then you just basically say no more. So Rough Ends, No More, 2000. And when you feel good about it, that's how you know it's great. You know, when you made a good choice and you feel really good about it, no more to the nonsense. And also, it is Ashanti's birthday. So Miss Foolish, if that's what y'all want to call her, of course, that was one of her #1 hit songs. But yes, happy birthday, Ashanti. And what is so crazy is that she's actually born the same year that I was born. So we are 80s babies. Ashanti was born in 1980. And yeah, there you go. Also, I want to give a very special shout out to people on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, D Live, Twitch. Right now, if you can go ahead and tag your friends and let them know what we have going on inside Reading Between the Wines, because it's getting ready to heat up real quick. Once we start sampling Vinas, Chalinas, Cabernet, Sauvignon, Blanc. So that's a whole mouthful right there. Vinas, Chalinas, Sauvignon Blanc. No, not Sauvignon Blanc. Cabernet Sauvignon. I got it all messed up. Cabernet Sauvignon. There we go. The Blanc is the white. This is obviously dark. So, and I didn't even drink anything yet, and I got it all twisted up. I said it right the first time. But very special shout out to Brenda from Glam and Bougie Collection. She came in last night, and I had a great conversation with her. She's awesome and amazing. Of course, Miss Kathy, the whiskey drinking, crazy thinking, shit talking that I ain't walking. You always support me as well, and I just want to say thank you so much. A whole new vibe by Royale. Thank you for coming through every night. Fatima from X Threads. Go watch the replay. We had such a great show the other night as well. Fellow podcasters, True Podcast. Go check them out on Instagram. Nordia from Shea of Heaven. Thank you so much. Miss Rebel Jewel, Trenton, New Jersey. Farrell Higginbotham. Shout out to my hometown, Trenton, New Jersey. Danielle from Posh and Pretty Brow Bar, Lakeisha and Abundance Moon, and Sasha Nicole Jordan. Can't wait till you come on the 4-1. I know it's going to be real dope. And yeah, so here we are, sipping on Keel plus Curly Winery. Keel plus Curly Winery. Okay, so sipping on Keel plus Curly Winery, which is wild berry. Okay. That sounds interesting. I would love to try that as well. Now, recap from last night, and I'm going to go ahead and get Miss Kathy up here. Have you ever been to a point or on the verge of pretty much quitting, throwing in the towel, saying that it's over, it's a wrap, and then for some reason, you really didn't make it a wrap? You pretty much just stuck in there and, held on tight and went with the flow. And then only to find out that, damn, that's a good thing that I held on tight and I just went with the flow and I just kept, pushing and moving on, because it actually ended up working out in your favor. Sometimes making moves really quick could be very detrimental. So you have to make sure that you make a good, firm decision. And sometimes you have to think about things before you just go ahead and stick and move real quick. So have you ever thought about basically ending something, whether it was a relationship, job, a friendship, a business venture, whatever, it works well for you. But have you ever been to a point where you were like, yes, this is it. I'm done with this right here. And then for some reason, it didn't work out the way you wanted it to work out. And you just went along with the plan. You held on tight. And at the end of the day, you were like, wow, I'm glad that I didn't go ahead and, end this and, make this a bad situation, because this actually ended up working well in my favor. Mm-mm-mm. All right. Let's see what Miss Kathy has to say about that. She must be already tipsy a little bit. What's going on?
Hi.
Are you tipsy already?
Well, I have potluck Wednesday.
What the hell is that?
Well, you take whatever is left in the liquor cabinet and you just mix it together.
You want to know why I knew that you were already tipsy tonight?
It was that.
Because you forgot to press the button and I had to push it. So I said, oh yeah, she definitely is on something tonight.
I thought something was different.
Yeah.
I got busy watching the mechanics singing.
I was like, who is that? I heard of them before, but when you were typing it, it just didn't make any sense for me.
Oh, you saw the 4 mechanics singing Elvira?
What? Isn't that a group?
No, this was just 4 mechanics singing Elvira.
On the TV?
But they were sexy. No, on TikTok.
Oh, God, I can't be bothered with you. I thought
Mark always goes, what are you looking at on TikTok? I'm like, nothing,
Mm-mm-mm. Something else.
He's like, well, what's with that sexy music in the background? I'm like, oh, that's nothing.
Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Well, I'm a little
Mm.
thirsty, so I'm going to get right on to into this bottle of wine here. What are you
Mm.
drink? What are you drinking tonight?
Well, it's a little bit of everything. It's like whatever was left in the liquor cabinet. Like when you got like what's left in the little bottles.
Mm-hmm,
So I
mm-hmm.
think might be some tequila in there, a little bit of whiskey, of course. Maybe a touch of rum. I feel like I'm
Mm-mm-mm.
forgetting something.
It's almost like a.
Anyway, cheers.
It's almost like
Mm.
a I what do you call those things? I was gonna a Long Island iced tea, almost.
Oh yeah, I could add some Coke in that, couldn't I?
So I have
I didn't think of it. I just got all the liquor. I forgot about the Coke. Go ahead.
Venus, Chalinas, Cabernet Sauvignon Blanc. Why do I keep saying Sauvignon Blanc? Cabernet Sauvignon because of Sauvignon Blanc, but it's Cabernet Sauvignon. Okay.
I thought you were going to say something else. It sounded like Venus, and I'm like, oh Lord, I hope he doesn't add a P in there by
Oh
accident.
my goodness.
I was waiting for it. I was like, oh, this ain't gonna be good.
I didn't even drink anything yet, and I'm stumbling over. So it's Cabernet Sauvignon, about $9.99 per bottle, and it's Cabernet Sauvignon grapes and Merlot grapes mixed together, and it's from Chile. So there you go. It's a Chilean Bordeaux blend. Can you say that?
Mm,
Chilean
no,
Bordeaux.
Chilean Bordeaux.
So this wine's going to be very bold, dry. It's going to be peppery, and of course, it's going to pair well with your beef, pasta, veal. You like veal. I don't like veal at all, and
Mm,
poultry. But here we go. Nice and bold and dark.
and
You,
peppery. You said right. What's with the pepper?
I don't know. Miss Lee
What do they just
Dennis.
like? Get some pepper. They put it in there. So if my background falls apart, it's because I gorilla glued it,
What?
and it came crashing down before like my signs there.
Mm-mm-mm.
Well, they're always bragging about Gorilla Glue. I want to see if it actually works.
Inside your home, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's probably a booby trap system in there. You better have some good homeowners insurance. I'll tell you that much.
I do. Remember, I have an Allstate agent. And,
You can't hear
that's
us.
a long story.
Oh, she'll go out and come back in. She said she can't hear us.
Oh, what'd he say?
So, what's been going on in your world lately? Our guest didn't show up tonight. I guess you scared somebody else away.
Oh my gosh. Oh, a lot. I don't know. Well, you saw my video. See, there it fell.
Well, what was it?
It was a home. It was a home sign and a welcome sign put up by Gorilla Tape.
Mm-mm.
Apparently, it's not very strong.
Mm-mm.
Oh, hello. Anyway, what was the question? I forgot. I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness. Let me ask you this question. What time did you get started today?
Tonight was early, about 5 o'clock, I guess.
Ooh, that's a
Maybe,
long time.
maybe 10.
That's a long time to get started before we come on here at 8 o'clock.
But I was pacing myself because the Gorilla Tape took some time, and
So
like I said, I looked at the mechanics. That took a little bit of time.
So are you still on your beer kick? Do you drink beer?
I do.
Yeah. Did you have some?
Not as much though.
Not as much. So what did you substitute that with?
Well, this one was just leftovers. Like the little parts of the bottles that. Yeah, you have like 10 bottles hanging around.
No, I
And I'm
don't.
like, why don't I just mix it and just
Wait,
get rid of it? Right?
Wait, say it again. What did you say again?
Yeah, like the little bottles, like 10 bottles.
Who has 10 bottles around? Just laying around.
Lots of people.
I don't know what that's like. 10 bottles just laying around. Yeah, you know how you have just 10 bottles just laying around half empty? No, I don't know what that's like.
Well, you know why we have 10 bottles? because Mark
Mm-hmm.
refuses to finish anything. I've got 5 rolls of toilet paper that got like 3 little like sheets on there,
I don't
but we
believe
can't
that.
just use all of them up.
I don't
We got
believe
to have
that.
like 5 or 6 or 10 all over the place. So when it comes to the little tiny parts in the whiskey bottles and the
Mm-hmm.
rum bottles, he won't finish it.
So,
So I got
so is this on purpose that we just leave shit around like that, little pieces here and there, like a roll of toilet paper or paper towels when it's getting ready to end? I guess he has a fear of running out of something that he just leaves it there and then opens something else up.
I don't think so because we've got 20 rolls of paper towel, probably 100 toilet papers, and
Mm-mm.
he's always been like this. This is not new. But it
Mm-mm.
pisses me off. I'm like, how come we just can't use the roll of toilet paper?
What does he do? Take it off of the holder and then just put a new one there and just leave it around? I don't understand what you're saying.
That's the thing. It's all over the place. It's
Mm-mm.
on the sink. One's on the sink. One's on the floor. 3 are
Oh,
behind the toilet.
oh
I'm
no.
like,
Mm-mm. No, no, no. I couldn't put up with that. That's craziness.
it's hard. It is hard. And then check this out. He's got this like specialty soap that's supposed to make him feel good, like natural soap.
What's that supposed to mean? What is that supposed to mean? Feel good?
Well, like a nice masculine scent and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm,
But the
mm-hmm.
problem is, it's black and it's staining my shower. I can't clean it. It won't even bleach out. And this is a natural soap that they're selling to men. Can you imagine what it's doing to your skin? Ugh.
The things
I
that
just,
the things that we put up with for love, huh?
the bathroom, I'm like, I hate this bathroom. Like, I don't even want to go in there. That's probably why my inside over here is the best, because I'm like, this is my domain.
Yeah, you're right. The fact that it is a mess, you do have something to do with that. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
Well, I took up a couple of new collections. I'm collecting things that nobody wants. I figured they'll be worth money someday.
Oh my God. Things that nobody wants, you're collecting, and you think that it's going to be worth money. Mm-mm-mm.
Uh-huh.
Do you know
Yeah.
when I'm at your place, sometimes I start to lose it in my mind a little bit because you just got too much. You have too much.
Oh, I do. I do.
We need to call 1-800-GOT-JUNK and have them come and clean that out immediately.
Yeah, but one person's junk is another person's treasure or whatever.
What? Who are you looking at?
I'm looking at you.
I can see you looking off to the side like you
Why?
got.
Is my eyes not
No,
focused?
it's like somebody's standing in front of you.
Honestly, like, well, Mark just went past, but nobody's in front of him.
Maybe that's what it was, the shadow. Maybe that's what it was. That's all.
Oh. Well, maybe he can fix the sign while he's over there. What are you up to lately?
You are something else tonight. What's going on out there on TikTok? I appreciate you
This
from
tastes pretty
joining.
gnarly, though. I got to be honest, it tastes pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's not too good. You would think that would be a good combo, like rum, a little bit of tequila. What else did I say was in there? Whiskey, of course.
Mm.
You would think it would be better, but well, it's watered down from the ice a little bit, so the ice is kind of gone.
So let me know what you had today to start off. When you started today.
I started with this.
Oh, so that's all you've had today then?
Well, yeah, I had lasagna too. Well, I started to make lasagna, but it all shredded, so I'm like, what the hell? I'll just like start from scratch. So I spent like 2 hours, like, drinking and doing lasagna and that kind of stuff.
Okay, sounds good.
It's a good afternoon. Well, you know what? I work a lot too. So when I don't work, I like have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Now he's over there annoying me because he just went to do. Him and I got into a huge argument last night.
Mm. I
I
don't,
can't even remember what it was about, to be honest with you.
that's ridiculous when you get into an argument and you don't know what it's about.
I think the other sign fell.
It did. I see that. Mm-mm-mm.
Look at that. You're bringing down the house.
Oh, I think that's so funny, Bethany. You said good afternoon. It's evening here, and where you're at, I guess it's what, 3 hours behind. But
Yeah, just behind.
California, it might be
Oh, California.
3 hours behind. You said good afternoon. It's good evening over here. Anything else gonna fall back there?
I don't know. I'm paranoid now.
Hmm.
There's a lot of junk back here. It could just like topple over, right? You want to hear something really? This is honest to God truth. Honest to God truth.
Mm-hmm.
I used to work in the supermarket. You know that. Really early in the morning. And pretty much nobody was there.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking like 5 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd be walking down the bread aisle, and loaves of bread would randomly fly
No,
off
they
the shelf.
wouldn't. No,
Not fall off the shelf. Fly
no,
off the
no, they
shelf.
would not. They most certainly would not. You're
I
talking.
swear, as God as my
You're
witness,
talking about when
fly.
you're talking about when somebody stocks something a little bit too much,
Mm-mm.
and then it
No,
slides right off. You
no.
know.
I'm talking about it was thrown off the shelf.
Mm-mm.
And
Mm-mm.
here's how, because if it was stacked on the shelf, the whole stack was
No,
gone.
that's not true. That is not true.
You know what? I'm going to get a video of this.
You're talking
I'm
to
going to
someone
go.
who's done retail, so you can't fool me. You can fool a lot of people out there. A
I am telling you the honest
lot of
God truth.
people.
And this isn't just one time. This would be quite often. Early in the morning, you just would see bread flying right in front of you, and I'd be
Yeah.
like, "I acknowledge you. You're here." I said, you're not alone. For real. Like weird stuff like that would happen all the time. Because think about it. It probably happens during the day too, but people are walking and people are oblivious. But when the store is silent, and it's just one person, they're like, "Hey,
This is
hi, how you doing?"
this is the same job where the person kicked your car and you did absolutely nothing about it.
Because they didn't have a camera.
But so how do you know that this person kicked your car and it wasn't somebody that just backed into your car?
Because she left her gum on the grill. She would always chew gum, and she kicked my. I don't think she meant to kick my car grill in, but she kicked it, and then she left her gum there.
Interesting. Yeah. And what did you do about
They
it?
were a bunch of assholes.
What did you do about it when that happened?
I couldn't prove it. I went in and I said, "You kicked my grill," and she's like, "Well, prove it. There's no cameras." And you know what? She was right. There was no cameras.
Oh yeah,
my word against hers.
Yeah, she did it. Most people would be like, "I didn't do it." She's sitting here telling you, "Prove it," because there's no cameras.
Exactly.
She did it. Oh man.
She did it.
So you didn't try to get back even with her any type of way?
No, I'm not that type of person. Even, well, not with most people. Just with that one guy. Remember, I wanted to go to the bar and.
Crazy Capital Media, what's going on? Thank you for joining. So you want to go to the bar and bother somebody years ago that did something to you years ago?
Yeah, but he had it coming though. He really was a bad dude.
What was
he was like Corn Pop. He was a bad dude.
What were some of the things that he did?
Oh my God, he would just play women so bad. I mean, and he was good at it. So it took me a while to catch on, but he was playing like three of us women at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just not a nice man at all.
I'm surprised because typically you like that type of person.
He was awful.
Mm.
Yeah. He was a contractor. I shouldn't say that, but I think it's hard for contractors to not cheat because they meet so many people.
So
probably the temptation.
So you think that all contractors cheat?
No, but I think probably the majority do. Where's Chad? Let's ask him.
Oh, I remember him. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's funny.
No, but you know what I'm saying? Because they have that temptation. They go into people's houses and women throw themselves out on
Yeah,
them.
you're good at doing that. What was it last year, right? Wasn't it last year?
I did not. I didn't. And,
And I'm telling you, the
I did.
whole time
What's
it's
the word
happening,
for
I'm
it?
like, this just doesn't seem right. I think you better watch out with this. And you didn't listen. You didn't listen.
Yeah.
And
Uh-huh.
one thing led to another, and there you go, carrying
Hmm.
on with
But I didn't initiate it though.
But
But I
there
mean,
you are carrying on with somebody who already had somebody.
well, I thought for the most part, I did think we were probably friends, but probably not. I guess in retrospect.
So now, when
But
that happens to you, you can't get upset
no, no,
because you
I
know
will
you've
not.
heard the term "what goes around comes around," right?
I think that I had a year and a half of hell, so I would say karma's about done with me.
Nordia, what's going on?
Hi.
So you think if you do something wrong to somebody, like let's say that you were the person that kicked somebody's car in, right? So then your
Mhm.
term will come for something to happen to your car. Do you believe that it would be something that happened to your car or it would come in a different form?
No, you know what ended up happening to this woman?
What's that?
And I never wished this, so you got to remember this. I did not wish it. Basically, she had a whole team of people bullying me,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to endure that because I couldn't quit my job because
Mm-hmm.
I needed the money,
Mm-hmm.
and my mother was, anyway. But she ended up having to give birth to somebody, to what?
Yeah.
She ended up having a baby without any medication in the back seat of her car.
So you think that was punishment? Some people think that that's
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
some
She
people
had a rough time.
some people enjoy giving birth without medication. They actually sign up for that.
From what I understand, she did not enjoy it, and it was rough. It was rough, and I felt bad for that. I thought that I did feel like that was karma, but I didn't. There was no joy in that. Like I'm not about that.
Mm.
I don't want people to hurt.
Remember when you got scammed by that Nigerian scammer? And I told you that that probably wasn't right and all that great stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Man, he was good though because he changed his voice, right, to make him sound like he was from England. Is that the
I
same
don't
one?
think I talked to him on the phone.
You said you did.
Well, I did, but I couldn't hear him. You know what I'm saying? Like the static.
Hmm. So then, long story short, right? Once you
Mm-hmm.
realize that this is a scammer, you turn around and you say, "I know that you scam me. You're not real, but I want to be your friend."
Yes.
Who the fuck does that? That's what I want to know. Who does that? So you get scammed by somebody who's trying to, take money out of your bank account, whatever they do. I know that that's what their ultimate goal is, to trick you into sending them money. So you know that that's what the bottom line is. And you find out that this is what's going on. And you in turn around and say, I feel so sorry for you and I want to be your friend.
Mm-hmm. That is correct.
You crack me up, man.
Yeah, but you gotta feel sorry that for somebody that would go to great lengths to. Well, I mean, he did come clean, and he said Nigeria sucks, and that his quality of life isn't good. And we talked a lot about God, and it was very interesting.
Hmm.
I thought it was. I thought he was a nice person, despite. I mean, who hasn't done something we're ashamed of, really? Am I gonna point fingers at somebody? Look at all the shit I've done.
Go ahead and name
Yeah,
it. I'll start writing it down. No.
it's too much to name.
Oh man, but
Oh
leave
my
it to
god!
you to go ahead and make friends with someone who tried to scam you.
I think everybody's deep down good. I do. And interesting. Aren't we all interesting in
So
our own
you
way?
think that every single person in the world is good?
I like to think that, you know?
Mm.
Well, there's got to be some good in people. I mean, because evil can't exist without good, right? It's like devils and angels and all around us, demons and angels fighting.
So people who are locked up in jail for creating, crimes as far as, murder and assault and stuff like that, they're good people.
Well, I wouldn't say they did bad things. I don't know. I'd have to meet them individually. I think sometimes good people do bad things. Do they
Mm.
belong in jail? Well, if they got a jury and the trial and everybody said they're guilty and the facts point that way, then they are. But sometimes people get caught up in the system and can't get out of it, you know?
Mm.
They just executed somebody not too long ago that they accused him of rape, and they found out like 20 years later he didn't do it.
That's
He swore
terrible.
to the very end, I didn't do it.
That's terrible.
It was terrible. They stole his life.
Mm. Have you ever seen someone being executed?
No. Have you?
Well, I've seen it on TV. Like they have movies that will actually show you the real. Like it's not even like acting or anything. It's real life, and you can see it. It's something interesting.
Oh, well, remember that, like, when they were executing the Christians and they were taking their heads off? That I remember. But you didn't see the heads.
Oh,
The heads.
you mean overseas and stuff when those videos were leaking and stuff.
Yeah.
I never
Yeah.
saw any of those. I didn't
Yeah.
I didn't see any of those.
Yeah, I was thinking about that the other day. I mean, we live in a good country as much as we complain about it. It's still the best alternative.
I think the only one that complains is you. I didn't hear anybody else complaining but you.
Well, I mean, I think the video I did, I very much meant. I think parents should be in charge of their children. And I think morals should come from the parents, the grandparents, the neighbors, the community. I just don't see where the schools should get involved in that. Because
Get
half the time the kids come out not learning anything anyway.
that is true.
Maybe they should just concentrate on one thing. I get a bunch of hate mail, right?
Hey, it is what it is.
It's like, dear Kathy, we hate you. Sign the teachers.
I got a question for you. So, how would you deal with a situation if your significant other was addicted to their cell phone? How would you handle that?
Well,
It's
every
reality.
morning,
It's reality.
every
This is
yeah.
real. This isn't
Well,
even.
every morning he wakes up and he like turns his back on me and starts looking at Facebook while he drinks his coffee. So I pretty much get ignored in the morning. It's short of "Good morning, how are you?"
Oh, turns his back, eh?
He turns
Interesting.
his back.
And then what do you do?
Well, sometimes I'll say something. Sometimes I'll be like, "You're being rude," and sometimes I'm like, "I don't really care."
Interesting.
I'll just put on my headset and listen to my news, or he watches this bullshit news. I'm like, what's with this bullshit news? It's like fluff news. I'm like, you would never know what's going on in the world with this bullshit news. They're talking about all kinds of crazy stuff, you know?
That's why you two are crazy because of the stuff that you ingest every day. That's
Yeah,
exactly
but he
why.
doesn't watch my news. I watch the intense news, like the real news, and he watches all this like bullshit news,
Like
you
what?
know?
What are some things that they discuss?
I don't know. Like they do polls of like the most popular cities, or the best dating sites to meet people. And I'm like, what the hell kind of news is this? We got a whole bunch of serious things going on in the world, and you're watching about, what city's the best or the worst, or,
Maybe people just want to escape and they don't want to look at all of that heavy stuff, especially
well,
first,
then don't watch the news.
especially first thing in the morning. That's crazy to ingest all of that stuff. You'll be afraid to go out of your house because of all of the crazy stuff that's on the news, and then all of that stuff that they pump into you, fear and the whatever. You take all of that on because of what you're ingesting and taking in.
Well, I think that, well, they do tell you a lot what's going on in Philadelphia with the shootings, and that's pretty tragic. And I think that's worse to listen to than my news in the morning because, you know, it's always awful.
Are most of these
How many
crimes being done during the day or at night?
both.
Mm.
It's getting really bad. I mean, they had in New York, this guy snatched a girl right from her grandmother's arms, but they did catch him though, because the grandmother's like, "That's my girl," and they tackled him down and they got him. But this is in broad daylight. People going up and snapping people. No,
Mm-hmm.
where's the common sense anymore?
Mm.
Right?
Yeah.
It's got to turn around. Now, those are bad people. Those are people doing some pretty bad things.
Mm. Look, here's another question. This is a little interesting, right? How would you deal with someone who cries wolf, but it's in a different way? It's like people who threaten to take their own lives or to put harm on themselves. How do you deal with someone who constantly cries wolf? Because that's a tricky one, because if you sit here and say no you're not, no you're not, and then one day they end up doing it, you'll be feeling real bad, and you might actually feel like it's end up being your fault if you you're shaking your head no. Oh, I'm gonna hurt myself, and you'll be like, please, you've been doing this shit forever, and then it really happens. That could be a problem.
Well, somebody I know had an attempt and tried to take their life. And when I went to the hospital, they were sitting there with an armed guard.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I ought to finish you off. I said, if you want to end it, I said, why don't I just end it for
you?
I said, yeah, I did. And the guard's like looking at me like, oh, geez.
You know that's not nice.
Well, but you know what? It's one of those things that if you're gonna keep saying that,
mm-hmm.
then maybe you either have to be shocked into reality, or at that point, I think if you wanted to do that, you would do it. I don't think an attempt is
yeah. The whole little term, what is it called? 302. Is that what it's called?
Mm-hmm.
I heard
Yes.
that they have changed the concept of that. You can only 302 people when they actually have a plan. So now my thing is, if someone's really going to hurt themselves, do you think that they're going to sit there and come up with a plan and tell you? No. That's someone who wants to be saved from something. And like Nordia said, it's often a cry for help, attention or something like that. If someone's really going to do something, they're going to be so secretive, and they're going to not let you know about it because they wouldn't want you to interrupt their plan. But in order to 302 people, I've heard that they have to actually have a plan, which makes no sense.
Oh, I don't know. I've 302 family members before.
And you're sitting here laughing at it.
What can I do? I mean,
the first thing that you can do is not laugh at it. That's the first thing.
Well, I think that's how we deal with things in this family. There's a certain a level of humor with everything. Because the person that has the mental issues is like, She's like, did I really, like things where we're sitting on the porch and she'll see something. She'll be like, did I really see that? And I'm like, yeah, that one you really did. We all saw it. But she was telling me one time about like being in with the room with the rubber walls and like bouncing from one wall to the other.
What is
You
that?
know,
Rubber walls.
it's
What is that?
it's like because you can't hurt yourself,
Oh, they.
like pushing
I've seen
walls.
them on TV. So yeah, I've seen that.
But the way she was telling us, like she started to laugh and we started to laugh. So here we are, like laughing over rubber walls, or So I think it depends. You know, I think there's humor in everything.
Hmm.
I just do.
Okay.
There's also sorrow in everything too, but I choose to go with the humor. How about you?
I don't even know what you're asking me.
I'll redirect the
I don't know
question
what you're asking me. I honestly don't.
because you were talking about if somebody was going to hurt themselves.
I don't know how to handle it. That's why I'm asking you. I don't know.
Well, I think it depends. If you think that they're just you know not serious, I think it depends on the situation. I remember one time this guy was drunk and I took away a gun, a loaded gun from him, and
Ugh.
I lifted up my seat in my row. It came up and I put it in the seat and I put the seat down
Mhm.
and I gave it back to him the next day when he was sober because he wanted to kill himself.
Oh my God, he wanted to kill himself, so you turn around and give it back to him the next day so he can attempt to do it again.
He never did. No, he didn't.
Mm.
He ended up getting married and having kids. Now he probably really wants to kill himself. After you have kids, you're like, oh my God. I was listening to the first question. Did you ever want to run away? And boy, when I was raising those kids all by myself, I said, it's like a little voice in my head that says, keep going. You don't have to go home. You don't want to go home. And then you had the little angel like, oh, you have to go home. Those are your children. And then the other one like, nah, just keep going. You deserve it. You don't have to go home. I really did have to fight with myself sometimes to come home.
And
It's tough.
I really do believe that. That's something else.
Yeah. Well, I mean, who wants to come home to four kids fighting, no
Four.
food on the table?
You
Yeah,
don't have.
because my son-in-law was here too at the time.
Oh, I was gonna say. Yeah, I was gonna say you don't have four kids. You said no food on the table.
Yeah, because of any money, the mortgage. There'll be times like just cleared the mortgage with like $20.
Hmm.
So we'd had to stretch food and oil and the bills would keep coming and the problems. One kid wouldn't go to school. The other kid wouldn't go to school. The school was threatening to throw me in jail. And, it was just like it was unbearable,
Hmm.
It was no wonder. I probably wouldn't be normal if I did want to come home. But that's
So,
all done now.
this actually gets me into the next question, which is interesting. So we go through our ups and downs. We have our rough period, and then all of a sudden, we're able to become free. Your kids grow up, they move on. So now you have a second chance, to live your life the way you want to live it. Here's the thing. Do you wait till love finds you, or do you go searching and end up finding love? What type of person were you? The person who would sit around and wait for it to find you, or are you the type of person that searches and needs to find it?
Probably a person that searches for love.
Hmm.
But I think if something happened to this relationship, I have the rest of my life planned out, like a plan B.
Mm.
I want to concentrate on my artwork and my writing and my creative side and just enjoy life every day without the drudgery of work and the drudgery. Tell my bosses that are listening the drudgery of work.
Your boss listens. You actually have your boss listen to this show.
I know, right?
You
And I'm
do.
still employed. Figure that out.
Oh my God. I knew you would. I knew you would.
I like my one boss. They'll have to decide which one I'm talking about.
Oh man.
That's the fun part, right?
You actually made me forget what I was going to say.
I like
uh,
your glasses. They're cool.
thank you. So, so you search. Did you always look for what you found? Did you always like what you
Never.
never?
Never. I did for a little while, but let's face it. If you're looking for something, it's you're probably not going to find it. It's got to find you in the end. It's just reading a comment. Do
I
a
know
horrible thing.
that's rough. Carol says, I have a friend that is always talking about taking his life. He was forced to do a horrible thing that tormented him all the time. I'm always suggesting him to go to therapy, but he never goes. Yeah, he really should because
Yeah.
key words that you said, tormenting him, that's something that's really rough when you're tormented by something. Yeah.
He was forced to do a horrible thing in war.
Oh, yeah, yeah. That's what does it. That's what does it sometimes. And there you go, Kathy. That's right up your alley with the whole political type stuff. But some of the things that these
Yeah.
people have to go through, and when they get back here and they have to struggle the way they do, that's the part that I don't agree with.
Well, I think there's a new movement happening where men don't want to be put on a list in case they're, they don't want to be drafted now. Men are saying it's my body, my choice.
Hmm.
So we got some, we got some shit going on.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Where are you calling from on TikTok? Thank you for your wonderful comments.
Oh, what they say?
They said, you are perfect and amazing. Don't forget that with a heart. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
You are. He is. Plus, he looks good in blue.
Oh, yeah. The magic blue, right? Thank you.
The magic blue.
So, what burning questions do you have for me? Because, you always have these crazy ones, and you'll send them to
Oh,
me at a weird time when I'm not even really focusing on those things.
oh, I don't know. There's just so much going on. I mean, what do you think about everything? Like, what's your burn? This is my burning question. Like,
Hmm.
you know,
What do you?
how do you digest everything that's going on in society and the world?
That is a great question. I'm actually glad that you asked that. It's probably not going to be the answer that you want, but honestly, I live in my own world. It's really, I have shut myself down from watching news and ingesting all of that nonsense, images that I don't like, I don't partake in, the music that I listen to, all of that stuff. I really, when I say that I'm in my own world, I really am. There's a lot of things that I don't know what's going on because I've shut myself down from some of those things. And,
What if those things find you though?
well,
And what?
at
You
the end
just
of the
deal with them
day,
when they come?
yeah, at the end of the day, we just got to go ahead and deal with whatever happens. And at the end of the day, everything has been written out already, and we're just pretty much playing it out. Now, we have decisions to make. You can be a fool if you want to, and you can, you know, take the easy road or you can take the hard road. And of course, like they say, you take the easy road, that's not really, going to work well in your favor. You take the hard road in the beginning, it'll be easier at the end. You take the easy road now, you're going to struggle and it's going to be, harder towards the end, if that makes sense.
Well, I think it's you can only hide yourself for so many things. Like
That is so not true. You stay away from things that don't make any sense and things that don't have anything to do with you that or none of your concern. You mind your business and you stay away from it. You don't go making things your problem.
Problems find me.
Yeah, you
Like
want to
I
know
was
why?
driving
You want to
today,
know why
right?
problems find you? Because you go making things your problem that really are not your problem.
No, no. Today I'm making a right hand turn, right? Somebody's walking across the street, right? They're
Hmm.
walking this way. And the cars behind me are like, turn, turn, beeping, beeping on the horn. And I'm like, this guy is crossing, right? So I'm like, what do you want me to do? Run him down, right? So the guy finishes crossing, and then I make my right. And then I'm like waving my hands out the window like a crazy maniac. And I'm like daring this guy. I'm like, pull over.
See, I don't want to be in a car with you at all. Period. Not with you behind
Well,
that
that's
wheel.
probably for the best.
Yes, it really is. When I saw you to put your own car in reverse, I was done.
I'm
When I
not
had
afraid.
to
I explained I can't see the
when
back of it.
I had to get up off of what I was doing, I was sitting on my ass. When I had to get up and get in my car and move my car across the street because you can't put your car in reverse, I know full well that that's a problem.
It's
That
no,
is a
I'm not
problem.
the problem. I'm not
No.
forcing people off the road. These people are forcing elderly off the road. And what about the young kids driving? They're getting forced off the road. I'm going to do a video about that. I feel very adamant. It's like that song, the asshole song. Did you ever hear that?
Mm-mm.
Oh, you got to listen to that song. It's about this guy getting forced off a road, and he's like, were you born an asshole, or did you work at it your whole life? Either way, it worked out fine because you're an asshole tonight.
Mm. You know what they say about people who are like that? A lot of people say that money will make someone, turn someone. And they say that that's not really true. If you were an asshole to begin with, when you get money, it just basically allows you to be more of an asshole the way that you really were in the beginning, if that makes sense. It exposes
I guess.
you're allowed to basically show people who you really were in the beginning. Sometimes if you don't have money, you can't really show people certain things, right?
Yeah, I guess. I don't
What
know.
do you
I mean,
mean?
anybody could. I I don't give anybody the finger on the road. Like I wouldn't do that.
So
That's just
are
vulgar.
you saying that you're an asshole deep down inside?
I, yeah, I could be an asshole.
So if you
Well, let me put it to you this way: I could be an asshole. I don't think I am an asshole. But if you push my buttons, most definitely. I am Italian.
so if you had a bunch of money, do you think
Yeah.
that would work well?
Oh, I had a bunch of money. I just gave a lot of it away. I
See,
would just give the
that's
money
exactly
away.
what I was gonna say. It would not work well for
Mm.
you. You're just gonna give money away.
Yeah, like there's a guy at the IHOP that I really want to give probably a couple of 20s.
And you
Let
didn't
him
say
get some food.
you didn't save any of the money when you had a bunch of money.
No.
You didn't invest. You didn't do things to protect it and keep it flowing in. You just gave it all away.
Well, I fixed the house, yeah, but I gave a lot of it away because I had gas and oil, and I didn't like the fact that kids had to die for that. So I sold that and lost a lot of money because I felt like I couldn't live with that on my conscience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
And
don't
then
know.
I invested in good stock, but then when my family kind of screwed me over and wouldn't work, I had to sell all that stock. I know I'm very good at the stock market. I know what to invest in. I really do. I had Home Depot stock. I
Well, if you
had
know what to
solar
invest
stock.
in, my question is, well, why aren't you doing it now?
I don't have any money right now to invest.
Hmm.
I'm paying the bills.
Maybe if
But
you didn't,
you know what?
maybe if you didn't give it all away, you would have it.
Yeah, I probably would. But I had to sell all the good stock that I had. I made sure I got something in everything. Energy stock. Uh, I had Home Depot stock. Can you imagine? I bought it at $30. It's over $200 now.
I can't believe that it you bought it at $30. I remember when some of those stocks were like $2 and
Yeah,
$3 and
yeah.
wow.
I had Wendy's. I had a whole bunch of stuff. Like I was very diversified. But then when my family wasn't working, and I had to pay all the bills, I had to sell it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's okay because I had it at the time to sell it because I would buy it cheap and then I would, sit on it. Yeah. But the oil and the stuff, the guy's like, don't sell it, don't sell it. And I'm like, I have to. Like, I can't live with that. I don't, it's like blood money, right?
Mm.
I mean, look what's going on now with the stupid oil and gas. And then we're going to have to, we were self-substantiating and now we gave it all away and now we're going to have to fight to get it back. Night, night.
Good night.
Interesting burning questions. I try not to watch too much news because of most of it's propaganda. Enjoy time with my family and friends and think about living somewhere in the sun. Ooh,
Absolutely.
that's good.
Absolutely.
Oh, well, night, night. Get all tucked in.
Well, it's time for us to go.
It
It's
is.
been
It's time for all of us to go night, night.
yeah, it's been fun tonight. Thank you.
Isn't it fun? Like like an hour goes by so quickly, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I'm going to get to my Gorilla Tape and start taping it up again. I got to use more Gorilla Tape.
I will tell you that you probably really should watch the show tomorrow, the 411. It's going to be amazing. I don't even
Ooh,
know
who's
what to
on?
say. It's probably going to be a whole bunch of laughs, but I think it's going to be right up your alley because
Okay.
the guest is on the same kind of page that you are. So join in tomorrow
Who's
if you
the
can.
guest? Or we can't know.
Yeah, it's Julene.
Julie? Oh, what a nice name.
Julene's coming tomorrow, and she has no filter. So we're gonna have some good thing the parental advisory is on. No filter.
No filter. I'll
Mm-mm.
look forward to that. I've been tuning in every night, right? Just
Yes.
about.
And what do you fall asleep 5 minutes after it starts?
No, not all the time. Sometimes I'm there, but I just don't comment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, and
Oh, thank you. I miss you.
yes, miss you too. We'll
Come
see.
see me.
I will eventually. I will eventually.
Okay.
All right. Take care.
Night. Night, guys.
Good night.
Bye.
Well, there you have it. Another guest that was scared away from whatever we do here on Reading Between the Wines. So every now and then that happens, but I get a chance to catch up with my friends. So the whiskey drinking, crazy thinking, shit talking that I am walking. Miss It's All in the Cars with Kathy. Definitely great individual. And Reading Between the Wines would not be what it is without all of the crazy antics. So I appreciate that. If you'd like to support Reading Between the Wines and the 411 podcast, go ahead and click that link above all of my social media platforms. I am so thankful to be on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Twitter, D Live, Twitch. Thank you so much to everybody out there for tuning in. Facebook. Sometimes I can't see the comments until afterwards, but I appreciate the comments. I appreciate people joining in. Same thing when it goes to TikTok. Sometimes I don't even know who's out there, and I typically find out after the show is done. But thank you for coming in. Very special shout out to people on D Live. I appreciate the love that you've been giving me. If anybody has enough time, go ahead and check me out on Twitch at Laren Gaines. I definitely would appreciate that as well. And I have to give a very special thank you to my executive producer, my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, for allowing me to come out here and do this show one more time in life. This is amazing, and I'm definitely taking it all in, and I understand the journey and the path that I am on, and I know what needs to be done, and I'm ready to put the work in. I have been putting the work in, so tomorrow night, 10 p.m., 411 podcast. Julene is going to be in the building. So, like I said, she has no filter. This is going to be real fun. It's going to be some laughs and there's going to be some real talk. So, Can't wait to speak to her tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Thank you so much, Instagram family. Thank you for hanging in there. Carol, thank you. Nordia from Share Heaven. SOS, thank you so much. Bethany, she has a business called fuckbeingfat.com, and she was on the other night. That's PHUCK beingfat.com. Go ahead and check her out. I love each and every one of y'all, and I'll see you tomorrow at 10 o'clock. Good night.